What's your name, first of all?
Ishmael.
I'm Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do you think happens, if anything? I gotta throw that in there.
What happens after life?
Yeah.
I mean, I have different views. I've read articles. I've read a lot of stuff of people being reincarnated. And
So you're aware of the options.
There's options, where you're reincarnated into somebody else.
Yeah, the different, I guess I'll say the optional beliefs that you could have.
Yeah.
You've thought it through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to everything. I'm not strictly into one religion.
Yeah. Try to keep an open mind.
Open mind, yeah. I have different beliefs. I believe that there's gods, but not just one specific.
Uh-huh. Multiple gods?
I mean, there could be, there's religious, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a certain religion?
I did. I grew up like Catholic in the beginning. Then we kind of like moved back that way.
As a family?
As a family, and then my parents already backed into it like a little bit too much.
A little
bit too much.
How did you, when you say you backed away, like as a family, how did that happen?
Well,
you stopped going or something?
We stopped going. Yeah, we stopped going. Then my parents found religion, which kind of helped them.
So
relationship.
Still Catholic religion?
They're still Catholic. Yeah.
Okay.
Me, not so much. I find it. I have a lot of family that are into religion a little bit too much, but then I see how their real lives goes on, and I hear about people because like you hear little rumors going around that people are going around trying to do their fronts in the church. And
okay.
So in the church, how they want to be seen.
They have a public face, and then
you have the private one.
Yeah.
And then you kind of hear about.
So they're hypocrites.
They're hypocrites, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, no.
And not for you.
No, I'm not gonna go to church, pretend I'm this, and then go act reckless or do stuff that's not in the beliefs of.
So would you say, as far as like you not being Catholic and believing in multiple gods and things like that, is there a particular belief system that you believe in, or
no, not really?
Just kind of.
No, I'm just open to it.
Yeah.
People I mean, if somebody was to tell me that, to show me proof that there's a God, they show me their God. Okay, that's cool. But I'm sure there's gonna be other gods or.
Yeah. Proof is a loaded word, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a Christian. I do believe in God. I would not say I can prove it that God exists. You know.
I mean, people they have their beliefs, and they're saying that because of God that has helped them. But I mean, I just feel like I don't need proof, but I could believe. I mean, I'm just open to it. I know there's God.
Yeah.
There has to be.
For me, I consider myself like I believe in science. Like I don't think of this question about religion as a scientific question. And the reason is because God would be above science. Like if God made the rules of science, because God made everything according to the Bible, he would be able to suspend those rules at will, right?
Yep.
So for Jesus to walk on the water, for example, if he wants to do that in order to get people's attention and for a reason, I don't think that that's beyond God's ability. So like God made the law of gravity, he can break it for a while.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. Yeah.
So one of the things, so I believe in evidence as opposed to proof. And evidence is like you build up this body of clues, we'll say, for and against a particular thing. Even this election fraud thing, it's like, okay, there's a lot of proof for it, or not proof, evidence for it, and a lot of evidence maybe against it, right? So even with like, say, Jesus' resurrection, which the Bible portrays as like the most important miracle of the Bible, if you can debunk that, then you might as well just throw away Christianity. So one of the things for me that's heavy evidence or important evidence is the way Jesus' disciples, every single one of them, died on the basis of believing that Jesus rose from the dead. They were willing to give their life for it, except for one. One was One was exiled to an island. But the rest of them, it's like, would they really die for a lie? You know? And so that would, to me, would be not proof, because maybe they were hallucinating, or, you know, but the Bible says Jesus appeared to like 500 witnesses, you know, after he died. Which to me, it's like, and the way it's presented, it's like they knew that people would doubt it, and so and I think Jesus knew, of course.
I mean, the thing is too, like political viewing. People see Trump, and they still don't see anything wrong with what he's done.
Oh yeah.
They still think that he is the best president the United States has ever had.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you seeing the same things we're seeing? like even the stuff that he says that don't make sense. I look at it. I have not friends, but like I have friends of friends that praise Trump. They think that he's the best. I'm like, what do you see in him? So I feel like even though even they could see him as, people say that Trump, God sent Trump to save the United States and everything.
Yeah.
And they bring Christianity into it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of, so I'm like, they were saying God bless the United States, God bless Trump, and all that.
I mean, I will say that the Bible does teach that all rulers in the world, no one is in power in spite of God. Like God is allowing it, or even putting people in power.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, because there's a lot of horrible leaders, and usually leaders have, I mean, just in the position they're in, they got a lot of hard choices to make, and so they make a lot of bad choices. So they're not godly people at all, you know.
No, yeah.
Even if God put them in place, they're not necessarily godly, but God is able to use them and work through them. And so I'm, as a Christian, the Bible tells me, you know, God put your leaders in place, whoever those leaders are, at whatever level, and unless they blatantly tell you to disobey the Bible, then you need to obey them. You know. So generally, Christians will try to obey who's in power. You know.
Yeah, but I still don't think, like, there's one thing following somebody because they're the president. One thing is like also having morals. Like morals, just like being. I mean, it's been proven that Trump has all those allegations, all those settlements that he did for those underage rapes, right before, like a couple months before the 2016 election. And people just throw it under the rug. They ignore it. They do the recording where he's talking down on women.
Yeah.
Grabbing them by their stuff.
Right. Like,
they still don't care. Women still don't care. Women even want him to do that to them. So it's like, I kind of see why the leaders will be seen as, you know, somebody that they should be followed. Yeah. But no.
One of the things that I've learned as a Christian, because the world generally does not, like public schools, don't teach young people to believe in God or to believe in religion. You know, that basically needs to come from the home, and so I've kind of learned to really be critical of the news as I hear it. I evaluate it and I decide, does that make sense? And then I compare different sources. So I do believe there's a lot of truth on both sides of, you know, like in the news, the conservative side and I'm going to call it the liberal side. They say that they're, you know, like unbiased, but I don't see that. But anyway, so I compare both sides, and I think it's important to compare both sides. And I learned to do that as I compared the evidence for the Bible and for Christianity, because I've learned that you can't just trust, you know, one side. You got to compare both.
You got to see both. But I used to watch Fox, but then they were completely like, I feel like they were too biased. Yeah.
Yeah. We in your way?
I'm so sorry.
Sure.
I apologize.
No worries.
Okay. I'll be out here fast. Have a good one, man.
Take care. Anyway, I want to respect your time. I asked for 5 minutes. This is a book that kind of presents the Christian side. So, yeah, obviously they're trying to, it's called The Case for Christ. Like, what's the evidence that Jesus actually is who he said he was, right? And so just maybe with the hope that you'll look at both sides, this would be the side you're not going to hear in the news.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And so to try to give a fair hearing to both sides of that argument, So
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
I'll take a look at it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Your
and then
name is Jeff?
yeah,
Cool.
and that's my YouTube channel,
Cool.
and I'll probably put this question about religion up pretty soon, and then the political one probably take a few days.
All right, cool.
So,
Thank you.
all right.
Nice
All right.
meeting you.
God bless you.